Using our rackable Stronghold iron fence panels for your project, let's go over some installation guidelines specific to these specialized fence panels. Hey everyone, Jason from Iron Fence Shop. If you're using our rackable iron fence panels for your project, there are some special installation considerations you'll need to be aware of. So today I wanted to go over 4 items you need to be aware of before starting your installation. 1. Knowing your rise over run measurements for the hill. 2. The different racking panel brackets. 3. Post spacing and not setting your post until the panel is racked. 4. How to rack your panel and its limits. Item number 1 is knowing your rise over run measurement. If you haven't seen our video on how to get your rise over run measurement, I'll put a link to it in the description below. Your rise over run number is the amount you're going to need to rack your panel before installing it. So it's key to know that number in advance so you know how much we'll need to rack the panel to follow that hill. For instance, if we have a rise over run measurement of 7 inches per panel, then we need to make sure that when we rack our panel, it's set to follow that 7-inch drop over the 6-foot panel width. Item number 2 is the racking panel brackets used specifically for these fence panels. Typically, your iron fence layout is going to incorporate a combination of our standard 8-foot wide fence panels and the 6-foot wide racking fence panels. So you'll want to be sure you're using the correct brackets for each type of fence panel. Here, we have our standard and angle bracket. These will be used with your 8-foot wide standard and non-racking fence panels. They will each use one self-tapping screw. This is the 2-tab flex bracket that will be used exclusively with your racking panel. It is shaped for the fence rail to enter it at a vertical angle. You will also see that there's an extra screw tab at the top and an extra hole on each side here. Each bracket will use a self-tapping screw at the top and bottom. This side hole is optional and we'll show what that's for later. So unlike our standard panel brackets that use one self-tapping screw, you could use up to 3 self-tapping screws for each 2-tab flex bracket. One final thing to note is that when you install the brackets, you will flip them around on the opposite end of the panel. As you can see with the shape of the casting, you want to match its installation to the direction the rail is coming into the bracket. Item number 3 is not setting your posts until your fence panel is racked. With a standard panel, there's a fixed measurement between posts, whether it's a full panel or a cut panel. However, if we go off panel width alone on the rack panels, that can cause an installation issue. Let me show you what I mean. Let's assume these are our posts and this is our fence panel. With a stationary standard panel, we just need to know the panel width to space our posts apart. In this case, our example fence panel is 14 inches wide. So I now need to space my post holes 14 inches apart when I dig them. However, if we mimic the racking panel motion here with my 14-inch panel, you'll see that while the panel remains the same width, the distance needed between the posts now shrinks. So with my same 14-inch panel in the rack position, I now need to pull the posts into a tighter 12-inch opening between the post holes. If we simply assume that you need 6 feet between the posts for your 6-foot wide racking panel, your posts are going to end up too far apart and the panel won't fit. That is a key item to remember, as you don't want your posts ending up too far apart after the concrete is dried and you have a real mess on your hands. There are 2 ways you can avoid this issue when setting the posts for your racked fence panels. The first is to pre-rack all of your panels and use them to measure the distance between your posts before marking and digging the holes. The second is to use fast setting concrete so that you can concrete a post in, let it dry quickly, attach one end of the panel to that post, and rack it down to get where your next post hole needs to be. Both of those are acceptable alternatives for getting the panel racked before you finalize those post holes. Final item number 4 is how to rack the fence panels and its limits. Our racking iron fence panels can handle up to a 15-inch rise over run change across the 6-foot wide panel. Our racking iron fence panels require that you orient them in a specific direction when you install them. Let's head outside and go over how to orient the panel and some tips and tricks on racking them. You'll first want to identify which side of the pickets your single weld is on. If you look from the top, you'll see that the picket is to one side in the punch with the weld over here. If we flip the panel over and look under the rail, you can see the weld more clearly to one side of the picket. When you rack your panel, you want to make sure that the side of the picket with the weld is facing downhill. Orienting the panel with the welds on the uphill side of the picket could lead to no racking or broken rail-to-picket welds. So look above or below the rail and be sure to only rack the panel with the weld side of the picket facing downhill and the open side of the picket facing uphill. If you're using a shorter panel or the traditional grade iron, you may be able to simply place your panel in the grass and shove the panel from one end or while another person holds it on the other end. Simply shove or rack the panel to angle it. Be sure to keep your rise over run number in mind and only rack the panel in small increments while checking your rise over run drop measurement at the uphill end like this as you go. While you can adjust the panel back in the other direction if you go too far, you want to avoid excessive back and forth adjustments, as that could break some of the welds. If you're using the heavier signature grade iron or one of our taller 5 or 6 foot tall panels, you may need to use the next method for racking the panel. If you're having trouble shoving the panel into its rack position in the grass, the other option is to mount the panel in an elevated position to a stationary wall or post and use leverage force to assist you. With this method, we are going to secure the panel to a sturdy surface first and then rack it down. We recommend using a post with dried concrete in the layout, a post elsewhere in your yard, or a wall in your garage or shed. If you're using the fresh post in your layout to rack the panel in place, be sure the fast setting concrete you used has set fully. If you're using a wall in your garage or shed, make sure you're mounting into a wood stud and not just drywall or a thin wall surface. The key is we're looking for a flat and sturdy surface that won't move and that you won't mind drilling some holes into. This is also where that extra hole in the 2-tab flex bracket will come into play. In my case, I have a taller steel post in my yard here that I can mount the panel to using the self-tapping bracket screws. If you're using a wood post or wall, you'll need to use a wood lag screw instead of my self-tapper. First, I'm going to secure one of the 2-tab flex brackets to the post or wall in a high enough position that there's a gap between the panel and ground that is at least the same as your rise over run measurement. Next, I'm going to have someone place the rail straight into the bracket and hold the panel for me. I'm then going to drive a self-tapping screw into one of the holes on the one side of the flex bracket that I mentioned earlier. This will help hold the rail in the bracket and prevent it from popping out when we rack the panel down. While one person steadies the panel up the post, the other person will begin pulling down on the other end to begin racking the panel. Be sure to use a level or board as you go along to measure your rack or drop at the post end. That should match your original rise over run number or drop. Again, you can adjust it back if needed, but try to avoid excessive back and forth movements, as that could crack or break some of the welds. When you have the panel racked where you want it, simply remove the screw and take the panel down. So with fence panels that serve a different purpose, come some special considerations and installation techniques from your standard panels in your layout. With those 4 items in mind, you should have no issue getting your racked iron fence panels installed on your hill. Hopefully this video has informed you on some special considerations when installing these specialized iron fence panels and how to properly rack them. Be sure to check us out here at ironfenceshop.com. If you have any other questions, you can shoot us an email at sales@ironfenceshop.com or give us a call at 800-261-2729. We look forward to hearing from you.